Something has been happening in Nigeria in the last 2 years. People have started buying this 2007 to 2013 Ford Edge like it's common now. I see this car every day when I drive out. My worry is that there's a lot of Nigerian used Ford Edges around for sale, and because this car is between 2.5 and 3.5 million naira, everybody's buying it, forgetting that this car is an American car. Don't get me wrong, I love American cars, I love Ford, I love the Ford Edge. But let me show you the true colors behind this American SUV called the Ford Edge. My name is Crank of 234 Drive. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about how this car looks. This is a 2010 Ford Edge, and it is very evident how much work Ford has put into the design of this CUV. CUV means crossover utility vehicle. Remember the Venza, doesn't look like an SUV. Remember the Honda Crosster, doesn't look like an SUV. This is Ford's version of those cars. Ford saw that market was moving. Everybody's buying Venza, everybody's buying Crosster, everybody's buying the Acura ZDX. Let us give people something that looks very curvy. Smooth curves, smooth edges. This car goes like this, straight, then slows back down. In the front here, look at the chrome grills. The chrome grills feels like they are merged together with the headlights. It's like one piece. It's not one piece, they are different, but it feels like it's one together. There's so much ride height that you don't have to worry about bad roads or flooded roads in Nigeria. And you know Nigeria needs cars like this because I can go under this car, there's enough space. So this car just makes sense. I love how this car looks, tinted glass, this spoiler here. The car just looks really, I won't say unique, it doesn't look unique. It looks well put together, that's the word. The Ford Edge has a very great look. The owner of this one just put this stripe, it doesn't come striped like this. Let's take a look at the inside, the interior. From what I can see here, everything is standard, like this interior is standard. This guy is over 12 years old and nothing is fading off or peeling off. The interior is bright, so it is dirty, it tends to get dirty, but apart from that, if you don't want to be washing it, you won't buy a bright interior. Nothing is melting, nothing is peeling off, everything is just standard. But then, you see Nigerian sun and leather interior cars, they are not friends at all. Because now this steering has cracked. I'm sure it's due to the sun, steering has cracked and it's really dirty. This infotainment is not very new because it's a 2010 car, but if you buy the later years like 2013, 2012, those ones have like up-to-date infotainment where you can connect Bluetooth to it. But the speakers bang, like the speakers are very nice. Sounds very well. In the rear, there's enough space for everybody. And remember the roof line is straight. It's straight to the back, so you don't have to bend for anybody, no matter how tall you are. If you can fit in the front, you can fit in the back. I love cars like this. There's also enough space in the trunk to keep stuff. You can see this space is loaded with a lot of stuff. Very big. And you can flatten out all these seats. You can flatten out the seats to have more space if you need space. They're good too. So if you need like more space to push all these things inside, you just push it in like this. Let's talk about how this car drives and what drives this car. This particular one is powered by a 3.5 liter V6 engine, about 305 horsepower. I drove this car and the car pushes. The car they fly, basically. Like the car moves very well on the road. And the way the car moves, it doesn't move like an SUV. When you're in this car, you don't feel like you are driving an SUV. You feel like you're driving a Camry or a Corolla because of the way it is. This car will boost your confidence as a driver. You're up there, big car. Then you're not driving the car with confidence because it doesn't drive like an SUV, just like a sedan. It makes sense, it just makes sense. I love me an SUV that doesn't drive like one. There's also the option of a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine. They call it the EcoBoost engine because it has turbochargers. I think I'll tell you to avoid that kind of engine. Avoid engine with turbos because after you stress them, after high mileages, turbos tend to fail. So if I was you, I'd rather buy a 3.5 liter V6, even though it consumes more fuel than that turbo engine. This car consumes fuel, it consumes fuel like more than a Venza or a Crosster. But yeah, it's Ford, it's an American car, it's heavy, it's built to perform, do you get? What would it cost for you to own a Ford Edge in Nigeria? There are different trim levels for this car. So there's the SE trim, there's the SCL trim, there's the limited trim, and there's the sports trim. Oh my god, if you see the sports trim, it has like bigger wheels and they just did some things to revise the bumper and everything now looks, that one looks like a sports car. I'm never joking, it looks like a sports SUV. This car is actually the SCL trim. That is why it is leather seat. If you buy the normal SE, that one is cloth seat. So if you want the clothes seat, you buy the SE. It's even be cheaper safe. From my experience, a lot of people that buy Nigerian used Ford Edges always buy the ones that have problems, and they try to fix the problems after they buy it. People love the Ford Edge, so for them to sell it, something must be going on. You get? So if you want to enjoy this car, buy the Tokes, buy the Tokumbo, buy foreign used, so that you enjoy the life that's left in this car before those issues start coming up. What are the common issues that this car has in Nigeria? Before I proceed to the problems, I hope you're subscribed to this channel. Subscribe, like our videos, and share. Thank you very much. The first issue is the water pump issues. When you buy this car as Tokumbo in Nigeria, make sure you change the water pump before you start using it. So water pump is what pumps water around your engine. You know your car, you always pour water in the radiator. That water you pour needs to go around. What pumps the water around is the water pump. To change that water pump, they need to remove some parts of the engine, so these mechanics will charge more for that. But then I always advise people, once you buy your Ford Edge, change your water pump immediately before it starts giving you issues, and make sure you buy original. They are original Ford parts in Nigeria. The second problem that this car commonly has is electrical issues, and because this car has a lot of electrical components, like it has a lot of sensors and stuff. So when you use this car for long, those sensors tend to fail, they tend to get weak, then they start spoiling, and lights start coming up on your dashboard. You need to scan it. In fixing these sensors that come up, mechanics will just start to ignore, they start to leave things out, so they don't change it. That's why I always say don't buy Nigerian used Ford Edge. When you switch on the radio in this car, it doesn't go off, even when you remove the key. It only goes off when you open the door. Imagine somebody doesn't know, they're just in your car, and the radio is on, and they just remove your key, and you leave somebody in your car. The radio will never go off, and when you come back, the battery might have died or something. You need to know that this car has all these electrical components that might fail, and you need to be ready to be changing them, because if you don't change them, your dashboard will just look cluttered, it will look irritating. You just have Christmas lights there, different lights, this one is on, this one is on, this one is on. When you scan it, it's a mess. You get? So if you don't want your car to be a mess, we're ready to spend money in changing all these electrical parts from time to time. Another issue that might come up will be overheating issues. Overheating issues in this car is common. Like the car will just start overheating when you're using your AC. So you need to always monitor your temperature gauge at all times. And once your car starts overheating, make sure your mechanic tackles the problem to the last bit. Don't say, I'll do half and leave half. Buy original parts, and I think you'll be good on the Ford Edge. You need to be able to anticipate the problems in these cars. You cannot just be riding this car blindly. You need to know what level you are at. You need to know what's going on at this point. You need to know what's going on at this point. So this car will make you know more about cars. You can't just use it blindly like a Toyota, like nothing's going to happen. You're just driving the car now. You can't use this car blindly. You have to be you can't be ignorant with this car. You have to be very, very focused on owning this Ford Edge. It's like a cult. If you want a Ford Edge, you have to do the work of owning a Ford Edge. That is the only one way to enjoy the great looks, the great comfort, and the performance of this Ford SUV. My final verdict on this car will be that this car is not a car you buy off somebody. You don't just buy it off anybody. You need to buy it from somebody that has maintained their own properly. If you don't find somebody that has maintained their car properly, you have problems. You will have problems. Or you buy a foreign used one. Foreign used is Tokumbo. Clean. Just buy this car clean and you enjoy it. This is not a car you just buy off anybody. Please don't do that.